Good afternoon. Thank you, Michael, for that weather report. My name is Jacob Bartelson, standing outside Schumann Stadium and the sled. Let me tell you, these people know how to tailgate. But it's that time again. Know the foe, Georgia State edition, as the Panthers coming into Muncie today, looking to continue Ball State's losing woes the last couple of weeks. Leading that charge will be quarterback Nick Arbuckle, who, if you don't know anything about Nick Arbuckle, he's pretty good, leading the Sun Belt Conference in yards passing per game with 309. Also second in conference in touchdown passes with 10. Leads an efficient offense. But then you might be asking yourself, well, what would Riley Neal be expecting across that defensive side of the ball? Two names to give you here today. Starting with linebacker Alonzo McGee, heading into today, 9 tackles for a loss. Averages just under 2 a game. Also, along that defensive line, Shawanye Lawrence, number 85, 15 total tackles on the year. Yet, the name of the game for the Cardinals today will be their rushing attack. The Panthers struggle against the run, allowing 4.6 yards per game and just over 200 yards rushing. Coming up after this, an interview with a football alumni, Joe Fazio. Get excited. My name is Jacob Bartelson, Ball State Sports Link. Guys, good afternoon. Jacob Bartelson again with Charlie Carno. Charlie, how are we doing this afternoon? Doing fantastic. Well, Charlie, let me tell you something about Georgia State. Their youth, it's impeccable. This football program began in 2008, and they did not play their first football game until 2010. But get this. They ended up on ESPN, the magazine, before ever playing that football game, about a week and a half beforehand, and they actually won that game as well. Had a lot to do with Bill Curry, now retired, of course, and he knows a thing or two about winning, as once upon a time he was a Green Bay Packers center back in the 1960s with Vince Lombardi. But nonetheless, brings us to Trent Miles, as Trent Miles is now the head football coach at Georgia State. He's a Terre Haute native, which might make our very own Tory Fox proud, so good to hear. And Trent Miles not only played and graduated from Indiana State, was their head football coach for 5 seasons as well. Welcome back to Indiana, Trent Miles. Charlie, thanks for joining me today. All right. Welcome back outside Schumann Stadium as Ball State and VMI get set to kick off the 2015 campaign. Well, we've been spending a lot of time talking about Ball State, so how about a little bit about VMI? Hello everybody, my name is Jacob Bartelson, and one thing to learn about VMI, and one number in particular, and that number is 17, pertaining to the number of points scored in the first quarter by VMI in the first quarter all season long. In addition to that, they were outscored in that first quarter 144 to 17 points, and when the opponent scored first, VMI fell to 0-10, so traditionally a slow start team. Looking to try and reverse that trend would be a player known as the Southern Conference Freshman Player of the Year, quarterback Al Cobb, who threw for just under 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns, both school records. And with a veteran supporting cast and a season under his belt, Al Cobb looking to reverse that trend here tonight. And finally, you might be asking yourself, what in the world is a VMI cadet? Well, there's two things I can tell you. Number one, the more official sounding one, would be the gray portion of a cadet's field uniform, which is recognized by the United States military. However, a more fun one, if you were to say cadet in a southern accent, you get, you guessed it, cadet. Nonetheless, Ball State and VMI charged up, ready to go for some football in just over an hour, but don't go away. Tons of more conversation and more from the boys. 3DC, ready to go. For Ball State Sports Link, I'm Jacob Bartelson.